Hello there guys, welcome back to session. Right, I've been having a little bit of a play on here for the last couple of hours. Getting a bit more used to it, but I'm still absolutely useless. But I've discovered some more things in the game. I've discovered that there is a closet in our house and we can change our clothes. I've also realised that that mysterious stuff in the bowl on the table is pumpkin seeds. So we have a health conscious skater, not a stoner. And you can access the computer. And the computer is where you save and load up your montages, which I assume you can put together into a video clip that you can watch on the telly, although I've not worked out how to do that yet. So what I thought I'd do is put down a line and show you the way that you film it, how you move the cameras and stuff like that. It's really, really not intuitive at all, and every now and again it just completely fucks up and goes wrong, and then sometimes it absolutely forgets what you've just told it and everything that you've just done is gone. So expect this video to have some problems. We're going to struggle with it, we might get a few things wrong, but hopefully you'll get the general idea of how you do this, because it's not intuitive. I have been bumbling my way through this for well over an hour, but I think what I've learnt now is enough to be able to help other people. So the first thing we've got to do is put down a line. So I've just teleported to here. Whoops. I'm going to keep the camera on this side. I'm going to go and do something on that ledge just down there, and then I don't know, we'll go and play with this ledge, and then maybe go around the corner, do something else. Really basic stuff. We're not going to do anything very tricky. It's just all about the camera work, but I want to get tricks. So if I fuck up my tricks, we will, we'll restart. So let's have a little crack, see what we can do. I'm not having that. What should we do on here? I think a tail slide would be quite nice, so we might go for a tail slide. And we managed to pop out of it as well. It's a bit messy, that wasn't nice. We'll go over to this little block and we'll do a kick flip to a manual on here. Oh, I messed it up. I'm going to go back to the beginning. Right, so we're going to do something on this ledge, and then we'll go and do something on that little platform. We'll do an ollie to a manual, and then we'll do like a flip trick. We'll just do ollie, manual, flip out. Then we might do a couple of flatland tricks, and then we'll go down the bank into the car park at the bottom. That's going to be the line. It's quite short, and it's going to enable us to put some cameras down in various places to film it. And then you'll see how the cameras work. Right, so let's get something on here to start with. Ooh, I'm a bit nervous. Okay, I've already caught that up. I said I've been on here for a while, but most of it's been learning how to use the cameras. God's sake. Right, I was going for a nose slide. I really like nose slides. They're nice, they feel good, they look good, they're nice and fast. Bent down far too early. Oh, I'll have that. Okay, that'll do. But we're pushing now, and we really don't want to, do we? So we're going to get a trick on here. Oh, I've messed it up. We'll get one on this bench. Oh, that's nice. Ah, but we stopped. We didn't want to stop, and we don't want to be pushing like that either. Let's go again. I want that little ledge, but I'm really messing up. I think if I move my camera over to this side, it might be easier. But we'll have it on this side for this first bit. I'm going too slow. Right, let's do something else. I should have got down tricks already, shouldn't I? Because that's the hardest bit. That'll do. So we're going to come down here. I'll flip my camera to the other side so I can see what I'm doing. Kick flip onto here. Get a manual. Oh, I messed it up. Bollocks. Right, you might want to skip some of the video to the point where I'm talking about cameras. Right, we'll have that. You know why I messed that up? Because I switched into... Oh, I didn't mean to do that at all. I meant to do a nollie flip down these steps. Let's go it again. That's the line, okay? We're going to go down those steps and then we'll stop in the car park. So we'll do some sort of grind on this ledge. We'll do a manual across that block. We'll do a flatland trick, and then we'll do a nollie down the steps into the car park at the bottom, and then we'll power slide to a very cool finish. Right, that's the plan. Wish me luck. Here we go. I'll go for a nose slide again. They're quite easy. Oh, messed it up. No, how many pushes gets you to maximum. That'll do. I'll change the camera to this side. Oh no, I missed it. I missed the manual. That's a bummer. Missed the flatland tricks, I forgot about it, and we'll just do this flip down here, and then we will stop. There we go. Right, that's the line. It's not good, but that's the line. So we're going to press the select button, which brings up this this menu, and we're going to first of all put our markers for beginning and end of the video. The way you do that is to press select again to go to edit montage. So we'll do that. Now I have no idea why the camera has jumped to this place. But I'm going to press follow camera, and that will make us go back. Once we move the skater by pressing these trigger buttons, it will follow him, so it finds him again. So we're going to set that, just as he stands up, as the end point. So you hold down the left shoulder button, which changes the menu. Then we can set an end point. So I'll hold that down, and now I need to press my right analog stick to set the end point, like so. But you've got to be in edit montage before it lets you do this. Now I'm going to keep it on follow cam, and I'm going to press the left trigger to go backwards through my line until I get to where I want to start the video, which is going to be up here, just before my first push. Right, so that's going to be the start. So hold down the shoulder button, the right shoulder button, and press the left stick. There we go. So now we've got our little beginning and end. We can zoom into that. If I just move forward a little bit so I'm in it, now if I hold down the right shoulder button, you'll see at the moment where the Y says show or hide the user interface. Well, that will change to zoom. So now I can press it, and I've zoomed in. So now I've got my clip selected. I don't know how to edit that clip so the rest of it is discarded. I ain't discovered how to do that yet. All I know is how to get the beginning and the end and zoom in. So now that we've got the beginning and the end, we want to start putting some cameras down. So my first camera is going to be, let's have a think. I'm going to put my first camera up ahead inside that little alcove that's opposite me now. So I'm going to change from follow camera to free camera. I want this one, and I'm going to put it inside this little place here. It's going to go in here. I want him to go back to the beginning, and I want to just see him through that bush a little bit, and then I'm going to sort of like pan around and follow him into shot. So I think just get him. I like that, how he starts just hidden in the bush and then comes out. So I'm going to start with him a little bit left of centre there, and I want to put a camera there. Now if you see, the D-pad left and right changes the key, and at the moment we've got camera position key, which is the one we want, but we can have playback speed key, so you could play back just like a flip really slowly, which would be good. And we've also got field of view key. There's only 3 of them. We want this one. So we now need to put down that keyframe, but to do that we hold down the right shoulder button where it says shift control, and now we get the ability to add or remove a key. We want to add a key, and to do this we press down on the D-pad like so. Now this pops up. So we have a free camera, and we have the choice to interpolate it or not, and then we can add it. So in this case interpolation is going to be off because this is the first camera. We're not going to blend this shot from a previous one, if that makes sense. So we'll just add it, and we'll see a little green camera has appeared on the timeline at the top. Now what we want to do is move it forward a little bit to about there. From at this point here, I want to keep the camera as it is, but then I want to start rotating the camera. So I don't want to rotate the camera until he comes just behind that wall. So that point there, I want to pop another camera down. So hold the right shoulder button, press down to pop one down. Don't want to interpolate it again. Done. So we've now got that period of time is that first camera, and from this point I want to rotate it. So I'm going to go to here where he just starts the trick and rotate him into center shot like that. And I'm going to interpolate this one, so we'll slowly pan round from that previous key to this one. So we hold down the shoulder button on the right, press down, and now you press left or right on the D-pad to turn the interpolation on or off. and pop our camera down. This time we get a little yellow camera, and that's going to blend the previous one into this one. So now from this camera we want to get to the end of the trick to where he pops out, so there, and I'm going to get him in center shot again. So that is going to pan the trick in center shot, and we're going to pop down a camera and I'll interpolate on. Now that I've done that, I want to get him skating away, but I want to change my position. I want to go down near where he is on the floor. So I'm gonna move to, let me think. So that'd be center shot to there, and when he lands, I'm gonna let him land actually. Yeah, I think I'll let him land. So I'll keep him in shot for this one in this position. So all we've done is rotated the tripod a little bit, and I'll move it down a tad as well as he lands. So we'll pop that one in and we'll interpolate it again. But now that I've got that one, I want to cut to a camera that is, I don't know whether to cut or just zoom along the floor. I think I might zoom along the floor. So from about there, I'm going to move the camera to behind him. So I'm going to be zooming to behind him, and I want to get nice and low as well, like that. So it's almost like the cameraman ran around to this position, and I want to stay here until he goes off into quite in the distance. So I'll pop this one down, and I want to interpolate it so it zooms, and then from here we'll let myself go off to about there, and I'll pop another one of those down at this point. And interpolation can be off at this one, it's not moved. So from here I want to jump to another tripod camera on that table that's going to film him going over the little ledge bit where I wanted to do the manual, but I fucked it up really badly. So we're going to come to, what did I do? I can't remember my trick. Did I actually do that? Oh yeah, that's what I did. So I'm going to stay in front, and I'm going to come from this table. So we're going to film this from on the table. So we want to start from where the last little camera icon is, because we need to make sure he's in shot. And I want to go from about the middle point of this ledge, so about here. So I'm having a tripod about there, and the tripod is just going to swing as he skates by. It's going to swing like that and watch him go off down there. So that's the idea. So it's going to start from here. So I'll just move in a little bit and we'll switch over to this camera. So we'll pop one down like so. We don't want to interpolate because we just want to snap from the last one to this one. So just pop it down. And now for the next one, I want to pan in. So I'm going to wait until he starts the trick. So we'll let him start the trick, and then we'll pop the first camera down without interpolation. But then as he comes through the trick, we're going to spin into him like this. So this one we will put interpolation like so, and then we'll do the same thing for the exit here as well, which is about there. So we'll interpolate this one like that. Now that we've got that one, we can sort of stay in this position, I think, to watch him skate off. Yeah, we'll go to there. So that's going to be the end of this camera shot. So we'll pop down this camera again at this point with interpolation off. Then we're going to zoom up a little bit. And I want to go, I think inside this tree would be nice. So we'll cut to a camera that's in this tree. As he comes around the corner, we'll get him just, let's get a good one, because I want to stay on this camera all the way to the end, but I don't want it to obscure the trick too much. I mean, he's going to do a trick down that set, so maybe here. No, I preferred the other one. So make sure we've got a clear view of the set, but also that we just see him coming out of the tree. Oh, I should have been a cameraman. Right, so we're going to see him coming in from there over this set, and then we'll see him go and do that thing there. So we'll make sure that we'd catch all of that. Oh, he's really quite close, look. And then, that bit's in the way. Right, I want one swingy shot from it all. So maybe here. So let's see how we could do from here then. And we'd swing round as he goes past. I want him to come through the tree though, so I want him to... That's the point about there where we need to switch to this camera. So he comes from under the tree, that's good. So we'll pop a camera in here, press down, pop the camera in, interpolation off because we want to cut to this one, we don't want to suddenly whiz across the screen. And then from that one, we're going to pan. I want to keep him in about centre shot, so we want to pan and slightly turn, so I'll pop one in there, interpolation on, and then we'll go forward a little bit more. And we'll rotate with him. It's going to be weird, this is. I hope this works. Like that, we'll keep in centre shot. That should work, I think. We'll interpolate that one. And as he skates off, I think this camera's going to move very, very quickly. I think it might not look right, but we'll see how it goes. Come down a little, over a little bit, just so we can see. When does he do that? He does it there. So we want to get it to about here with the interpolation, and then to the end with just the still camera, I think. Or maybe we can just zoom in on him at the end. So yeah, if we go to there on interpolation for this camera, and then on the last one when he stops, we'll suddenly zoom down to him for the stop. So from that one we were just on, we're going to zoom straight into him for here, for the final shot. We could rotate around him to his face at the end, that'd be quite cool. So we want to pop in another camera here with interpolation on. Right, so that's all our cameras set. We're now going to go back to the beginning of this little clip, and we'll turn playback camera on, which is the left shoulder button. It is on at the moment. And then we'll play it all to see what it looks like, then we'll save it. So hold down the right shoulder button, press the D-pad to the left until we get to the beginning, like so, and now we're going to press the play button to see how that looks, and it should work. So we've got cameras turned on, let's go. Oh, it suddenly stopped, didn't it? It's not bad for our first try. I mean, my tricks weren't very good, my line was a bit rubbish, wasn't very flowy. I want to see how this tree works. There we go! Right, so it's not brilliant, but it's an alright first example, and it's giving you an idea of how these cameras work. There are a few other things you can do, but this is just a real basic example. But a lot of it really is to do whether you choose the interpolation for the camera on or off, whether you just want to cut to the next place, or whether you want the camera to pan. But we've now made that little montage, so that's ready. Now to save it, and it took me ages to work this out, from here, press the start button and go down to replay and editors, and then go to save montage. Now it's going to ask you for a name, so let's call it line 1. So I'll just call it Al1, Al01. And I mean, it's just an example, so let's press start. So press the A button to save. Right, so now we've saved the montage. To get out of here, you have to press the start button and go to return to apartment and hold it down to confirm. So we'll go back to our apartment and I'll show you where that is. Right, you would imagine that we can now look at that video on the TV. So if we press video replay on the TV, you can't do that. So let's go back, and we'll now go over to the computer, and it says video montage. So we can go over to here and we can load the montage we've just made. This was the Al011, that was me fiddling around with it before, but this one completely fucked up. The cameras all went wrong. Now when you load it, you have to hold it down, it puts you back into where we just were, like the editing screen and all that kind of stuff. So it loads that up and you go back there. It's not like you watch it on your computer, all this lot appears. So as you can see, the entire sequence is there, all 3 minutes of it, as opposed to just that little bit that we had at the start. So we're going to hold down the right shoulder button, and we're going to press the right direction pad to go to the next key, and that will bring us to the beginning of our actual edit. There we go. Now we've got playback cameras off at the moment, so we'll press the left shoulder button to turn them on, like that. And now if we play it, we'll be able to watch what we've just made, and hopefully it will work. Should be the same as how we watched it before, but when I did this before, some of the cameras suddenly didn't do the same thing, they messed up. But this is all looking alright. That's how we did it before. That's a bit of a sudden jar where it stops. I mean, what you could do is gently slow them down by putting an extra one in that moves a little bit less. But this bit worked quite well from inside the tree. That wasn't bad. I think I should have stayed in the tree for the end. I didn't need to zoom into him. So there you go. That's how you do a little bit of a montage and you move the cameras. That's how you save it, how you put it on your computer, and how you look back at it. But I really haven't managed to figure out yet how you compile these montages into a video and then watch the video on your TV. So I'll press the start menu and I'll go, options is just your normal standard options, I think. Yes, it is. So we're going to go back to our apartment. And I want to see if there's anything on the computer that, I mean, even though we've just done all of that, there's still nothing in here. It does nothing. So we'll go back over to the computer again. The old computer, not the nice new laptop. And we've just got new montage or load montage. Select an existing replay to start a new montage. Load a montage. You see, you can, when you're doing all that editing stuff, you can press pause and then you can save your montage or save your replay and you can load them up in here, but I have no idea how you combine them together and how you do all that stuff. I'm going to continue fiddling with it, but this was mostly just about the camera positions and that sort of thing, really. But I'm kind of hoping that you can compile a few of those little clips together that we've just made to make your own skate video, and then sit back on your comfy sofa and watch it on the telly whilst you eat your pumpkin seeds. That's what I hope. But there is one other thing that I wanted to show you on this video as well. So we'll go back from this, and if we press the directional pad, you can access your closet. There are about 5 different skaters. I've recorded this video twice because it went wrong, and I'm not sure whether I've already told you this bit at the beginning or not, so I'll do it quite quickly in case I have. So you have a default male and female, you've got a dude with dreads, and then you've got a prison guy, a skeleton fella, and then these 3 people who I assume are famous skaters that I've never heard of. So there we go, and this one's on their way. I'm going to go back to the default one. No, I hadn't showed you this, had I, at all? Right, so your head is your hats. You can have a bald head, or you can have this one hairstyle. So if you don't wear a hat, that's your 2 hair options. This hairstyle or no hair at all. And then we've got the various baseball caps with or without hair, and we've got various beanies. That's it. They're your only options. Beanies with or without hair, baseball caps with or without hair, and a few different colours. I like this orange one, so that's what I've gone for. Your upper body is a few different t-shirts and hoodies, and this windbreaker thing. All of your hoodies have the hood up, which I was a bit disappointed with, really. I wanted a hood with the hood down. A hoodie with the hood down. So same make as the boards, which we did in the previous video. So they are a little bit limited. But you do get money in the game. So maybe you can go to a shop. Let me just... my legs are killing. I've been in this position for too long. So, you know, maybe you can buy more stuff from the shop. I don't know whether when the game releases, all this stuff that we've currently got will be available to you, or whether you're going to have to make money and buy it. But I'd quite like the idea of being able to buy more clothes. We have a very limited, you know, I quite like these camouflage ones, really. I mean, I've gone with these black pants. I like them. You're very limited on what you go for. Or you can just have these shorts, which I wouldn't advise, really. And on your feet, you can go bare feet as well, which I'd only recommend you ever skateboard bare feet if you've got really, really shit grip tape. If you've just changed your grip tape, like I have to this, then it's just going to rip your feet to pieces. So don't do that. They're quite nice. But I do like the ones I've got on, not them, it wasn't showing it properly. I like those the best, so that's what I'm sticking with. Not many options. Hopefully there'll be more when the game actually releases. If you go to the skateboard one, it's exactly the same as when you're on your bench over the other side of the room. So you can change your graphics. I did this on the last video, so I'm not going to go through them all here. I did say in the last video I really wished I had Alien Workshop decks, because that's what I used to skate, but I didn't skate them for the way they looked. I skated them because I just liked the way they feel. They just had really nice pop on them. I loved Alien Workshop, but for the look, I tell you, I'd really wish they had some Santa Cruz decks in here, especially that blue Screaming Hand. That deck is awesome. And really going way back to the mid 80s, I had a Chris Buchan street deck, the farmyard one with the clear grip tape on the top and all the animals. I had that deck, and then the next one I had was the Chris Vallely, the one with the double tail, which was one of the first boards that really had a double tail instead of a distinctive tail and nose. So I had that deck way back, and then all the way back then I had Slammers as well, which I did mention on the previous video. Oh, they were lovely, they really were. They were big chunky wheels. And then I moved over, when I moved to my Chris Vallely, no, was it? Yeah, it is, isn't it? That's correct, I think. That's a long time ago, I can barely remember. I think I moved over to slime balls, and they were really big as well, and they're quite hard. I used to go to Stampy's over in Birmingham, so leave a comment if you used to go to Stampy's. I loved that place. They had a massive vert ramp there, and we just used to pump up and down the vert ramp, get near the coping and shit ourselves. But they had a really nice little indoor bowl. They had a street section. I was there once. This must have been in about 1988, 89, something like that. And me and my mate Neil, we were in the street section with this guy, and we were moving this big piece of, it was almost like a piece of pipe. I'm not sure what material it was made out of. It was like some sort of plastic resin, but it was fucking heavy. And we were all carrying it together, and we said, right, drop it on 3. And then we just all let it go. But this one lad didn't let it go, and his hand went down to the floor, and he pulled his hand away, and it took the end of his finger off, and you could see the bone and everything. It was horrible, man. So yeah, we all felt me and Neil felt really guilty. There was 4 of us carrying it. Me, Neil, the guy with the now very damaged hand, and this other dude. And I mean, at the time I was probably about 14 or 15, something like that, in 88, 89. And the other dude that was with us, he was a bit older. He looked about like 19 or 20. And the guy ran off holding his hand, and he went to the medical bit to be treated. And the other dude, the 18 or 20-year-old, he stole his skateboard. I thought, how fucking out of order. Me and Neil wanted to do something about it. I mean, there was 2 of us, one of him, but we were like little kids, and this was a rough-looking dude in Birmingham. We was like, he just took it and he went. And he skated down the hill towards the bowl and was just like, oh, it's fucking well out of order. But yeah, he nicked the guy's skateboard whilst he was having his hand seen to. The guy probably never skateboarded again anyway. But yeah, if you ever skateboarded at Stampy's and they'd got that wall ride you could do on the bowl, dropping in opposite the wall ride and getting as high as you can up there was so nice. I used to sweat buckets in that little bowl. It was lovely. So yeah, we had, and the spine, I forgot all about that. At the back of the vert ramp, there was a spine ramp. And I used to be quite proud that I could get over the spine quite nicely. Just click onto a blunt and then drop in on the other side of the spine. That was a lovely ramp, it really was. Yeah, it was very nice. So yeah, leave a comment and let me know, did you used to skate at Birmingham Wheels, at Stampy's Park? And what was the guy's name? It began with a Z, didn't it? I can't remember his name. But yeah, Stampy's. What was his name? Well, I mean, we had Stampy. We had another guy, the guy with the dreads, the name began with a Z, but I can't remember. There's not many names begin with a Z, is there? It must have been Zach. I don't know what it was. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. So yeah, that was my go-to. We used to go over to there quite regularly on the train from Nuneaton. And then Nuneaton got its own skate park. But by that time, I was towards the end of me skating then, but they popped a skate park. But it was all metal, not very nice. And Bedworth got one as well. That was pretty good. But yeah, my skateboarding started in the early 80s when, you know, you didn't the ollie hadn't been invented yet. Rodney Mullen was just a small child and he was doing flatland tricks like a ballerina. He hadn't yet discovered all of the amazing skateboard tricks that he was going to give to the world. So if we wanted to get off the floor, we used to do no complies and bonelesses and just, basically bang our skateboard up curbs. I know I talked about this a little bit on the last video, but yeah, Rodney Mullen was a major hero of mine back in the mid-80s. And then a little bit later, Don Jo Won Song. And then those two, the videos, the round 1, round 2, round 3 of the Day One Song. Sorry, I'm confusing him with that guy that makes cars for Forza. Right, not you. Day One Song and Rodney Mullen. Those two were those were the best skateboarding videos that were ever made. But yeah, that's my era. And people like Chad Musker and those people, and of course the Birdman, but we're not going to mention him because his games aren't very good. I mean, the first lot of games were brilliant, weren't they? And it's not his fault that the later games were shit, because they were nothing to do with him. It was just like his name on them. But this is a vast improvement. What you're doing with the sticks is so good. So yeah, I'd very much like to get back into skateboarding, but that ain't going to happen, is it? I'm 46, but I'm still going to snowboard, but I'm not going to get back into skateboarding. I'm not good enough. I can do quite a lot of, I could do quite a lot of tricks. I was quite good at ollieing. I could ollie really high, but that's a long time ago. I'll tell you what, a few months ago, before we went into lockdown, it must have been about January or February, I was waiting, I can't remember where I was. I was near the mall and I was waiting outside the mall. And I was waiting for a shop to open or something like that, just sitting on a bench outside the mall, and there were some kids on a skateboard and I was watching them, and I was like, I'll give it a go. And I hadn't been on a skateboard for fucking ages, and I did an ollie that was about waist about waist height, and I was proper chuffed with myself, and I tried to play it down and act really cool. And I hadn't even got like skate trainers on or anything. And then I did a kickflip. It wasn't very good. I didn't level it out properly, but I did catch it and I did land it, and then I tried kneel flip and fell off. But yeah, I hadn't done anything on a skateboard for a really, really long time, so I was quite chuffed that I got decent ollie, just standing still, mind, and a little kickflip. So it was a few lads just skating around. They were quite young, and they got a few girls with them, and then started asking me a shitload of questions about England and stuff. And we had a conversation in very broken Spanglish, mostly Spanish. They didn't speak any English. But yeah, it was a little bit of fun. So it was nice just to have a little bit of a go when I haven't for a really, really long time. I do miss it. But snowboarding is much more my thing now. I'll tell you what, as soon as I got on his skateboard, I felt like I was really high, because standing on a board for the past 10 or 15 or maybe 20 years, the only board I've ever stood on has been a snowboard, or to be honest, also my landboard for kiting as well. I do landboarding on a kite, but that's different because it's massive and it's got big rubber wheels, whereas a skateboard has got little tiny wheels, and you feel very unstable when you've been on one for a long time. So yeah, it felt like I was high off the ground and quite unstable, but I managed to do a couple of tricks. Not many, but a couple of tricks. Another thing as well, just before I shut this video down, I did say in my previous video that there's a bunch of tricks that are not on here, like no complies and like a boneless and all that kind of stuff. And I also said that impossibles are not on here either. Now, impossibles are not on the trick list, but on my last video, I was watching it before I uploaded it to YouTube, and I kind of fuck up a trick on a bench and then sort of fall off, but I've got the tricks, it tells you what the trick is and it comes up. And although I wasn't doing an impossible, it came up and said impossible on the screen. So obviously it fucked up, but if it says it on the screen, then it must be in the game, so it must be possible to do one. So what I've been trying to do is move the sticks in the way I would move my feet to be an impossible. So that's kind of like prepare for an ollie, pop an ollie, and then spin your back leg round. That's sort of what you do, isn't it? That's the impossible. You sort of rotate your leg with the board, but it's not. I can't do it. I can't get it to do an impossible. So if anyone knows how to do an impossible on here, then please do let me know. But it does seem that it is possible to do an impossible because it said it on the previous video that I uploaded. It just comes up on the screen as the trick I've just done whilst I'm falling off. So yeah, it must be possible to do an impossible. the most ridiculously named trick of all time, because they're actually not that impossible. I can't do them, but I can, as I said in the previous video, I can do no complies and spin my board around my foot and then bounce out of the no comply and land it, and it looks like an impossible. It's just that my left foot goes on the floor for a second. So yeah, I do a no comply, spin it into an impossible and jump on, and I can do them quite consistently as well, and they look really good. They do look good, but I can't just ollie and do an impossible. I don't even understand how that would be possible. So yeah, maybe the trick just does justify its name. Anyway, that's enough rambling from me. Hopefully you found this video useful in helping you to create a montage, and I'm going to continue fiddling around with the cameras, fiddling around with the computer and the television, and if I find a way, I've been talking so long my Xbox has gone dim, if I find a way that I can compile my montage together into a skate video with clips and stuff, and I can work out how you do that, then I'll most definitely make a video and share that with you and show it you. But as I did say, I think, didn't I? One of the things that are really, really weird, in fact, I'll show you. This is very weird, okay? The clothes I am wearing now, which I just did that line in that you've seen, if I change my clothes, so I'll just change my hat to a black beanie instead, and I'll change over to a hoodie. Right, this is so weird. What? Come on, where are the bloody hoodies? Right. There was no need changing my beanie, was there, if I'm going to have a hoodie with the hood up? I'll have this one. Right, so I'll change my hoodie and I'll change my hat. So this is my new skater. I'll put some combats on as well. I'll go with those ones. Right, so I've got changed. I could change my board as well, and it would also do the same thing as I'm about to show you. So now that I've got changed, I'll back out of here with my new outfit. And I'm going to go into my computer and I will look at my little montage that we've just done. So we'll load it up and you'll see that I'm wearing my new clothes. So, a bit weird, and also I don't really like it, and I hope they change that for the proper release of the game. But yeah, you always have your new clothes on. So we'll jump into the montage itself, we'll turn playback cameras on. We'll play it, and look at that, I've got my hoodie and my combats on. So yeah, ain't that weird? We'll hide the UI as well. We'll just rewind back to the beginning with the UI off, and we'll close the video with our montage. In our new clothes. I wished I'd have done a better line for the video, but I didn't want to spend, too much time on the video trying to get a good line, because it is quite hard. But I wanted a bloody manual on there, not a grind, which is a shame. But I think this shot from the tree works. I think I should just have stayed in the tree and let him go off in the distance. I shouldn't have done this zoom in at the end. But there we have it. What do you think of my camera skills? Leave comments, let me know if you found this useful. Also, please do let me know in the comments if you know how to compile the montages that you create and the little clips together, or if you know how to say, mark beginning and end, scrap the rest, I just want this bit. I know it's a work in progress, so maybe some of these things that I can't work out, I can't work out how you do them, maybe you can't do them yet. Maybe you can only do the stuff that I've done, but I'm going to continue making little clips of the lines that I do and keep saving them to my computer, and then hopefully as the game gets updates they won't disappear and we'll find a way of compiling them together so I can make some skate videos, which would be good. Might have to put some music on them as well. I have got the music turned off in the game just because of YouTube copyright infringements and those kind of things. But if I was making a skate video, I'd find some music to put to it, and I might do a series of those and put them up on my channel. Oh, I've wanted this game for such a long time, I really have. But I am very much looking forward to Skater XL as well, which comes out in 4 weeks and it will be nicely polished. But until then, this is filling that 10-year void of not having a skateboard game. I've gone back to Skate 3 loads and loads of times, but I just in recent months I've really not been able to. I've known there's something better coming, and it just it just feels like, let's just wait for this. And I knew the controls were going to be very, very different as well, so I want to get used to these new controls. Definitely sticking with these new controls and not going back to the legacy option. The legacy option is much, much easier, but I think once you get used to this, it will be much better, so I am sticking with it. And maybe I'll put it on hardcore, so I have to actually catch my board myself as well, and that kind of stuff later, but we'll see. Anyway, that's all from me, guys. Please let me know if you found this video useful, and if you did, give it a thumbs up, because that really helps out the channel. Cheers, see you soon, bye bye.